हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू स्पाइस धमाल। आई एम योर होस्ट नितिन और आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हैं ब्यूटीफुल कैस्पियन सी और हम हैं अजरबैजान के कैपिटल बाकू में। हम यहाँ पे एक कॉर्पोरेट ग्रुप की तरह आए हैं। हमने 3 दिन बहुत मजे किए हैं। सो आई एम गोइंग टू टेक यू अलोंग विद मी फॉर द एंटायर जर्नी ऑफ बाकू, व्हाट ऑल द अट्रैक्शंस एंड व्हाट ऑल यू कैन डू हियर। बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल सिटी है, वेदर एकदम बढ़िया है। तो लेट अस कम एंड एक्सप्लोर बाकू विद मी।
As soon as we reached Baku after a long haul flight by taking a stopover in Dubai, these folk dancers did the Azerbaijani traditional dance to welcome us. और हम लोग ने भी इनको ज्वाइन किया और इनके साथ में खूब एंजॉय किया दी लोकल डांस। And we were ready to explore the Paris of the East. Baku's first impression was really good, nice clean roads, new infrastructure, and we checked in Fairmont Baku Flame Towers, the most iconic 5-star property. We will cover it in a separate video, but it was time to get freshen up and start with our first attraction of the day. Just opposite the Behramgur monument, you have the funicular station. Now funicular is small tram which takes you up the hill to the Highland Park from where you can get the panoramic view of the city. So हम और सारे जो हमारे colleagues थे वो लाइन में लग गए to enjoy this funicular ride. It's very similar to you have these rides in small hill station in India as well, but overall the experience was good and fun. When you reach the hilltop, you come just opposite the flame towers and the Turkish mosque. But the main attraction here is the Shahidar monument, or all the names of the fallen comrades which have been listed here in their memory for the sacrifice they have done for their country. Then you have this Martyrs Lane, which is a beautifully manicured garden, really well maintained in the memory of the fallen soldiers. And as you go ahead from there, you get the most beautiful panoramic view of Baku city and the Caspian Sea. So this is the view of Highland Park. You can see the Baku Eye from here as well. And as the sun was going down, the view became more magnificent and really beautiful. And the light display of flame towers was also on, and they looked absolutely magnificent. And our dinner and cocktails were planned at the Hotelier 61 lounge. Beautiful restaurant, large sitting area and bar, and we were really looking forward to this party. Since the dance floor was already put on fire by these fabulous dancers, we all joined in with a Desi style party and dance and enjoyed the evening really well. After a good night's sleep, we started nice and early with our sightseeing. As you know, Baku is one of the Formula 1 street circuit. That means Formula 1 cars race on the same road. And what you see on the left hand side is the pit stop for all the Formula 1 cars. So whenever there is a F1 race in the city, this area acts as a pit stop and the cars get repaired and join the race again. So that was amazing being part of the Formula 1 track nice and early. Now this one is a unique site to Baku. These are oil wells which are digging crude oil from the ground. आज तक हमने सिर्फ सुना था, आंगन में तेल का कुआं होना आज देख भी लिया. Through the countryside, we were on to our next attraction, Yanardagh, the mountain of fire. यहाँ पे continuously fire जलता रहता है इस mountain में, which is coming from the natural gases of the land. So in the 18th century, this fire was accidentally discovered by a shepherd, और ये आज एक बहुत बड़ा tourist attraction बन गया. After seeing the mountain of fire, it was time to move to the fire temple. when you are in Baku, you are never away from petrol. Guide ने बताया कि these are old Russian locomotives, 80-90 year old, and they are carrying benzene petrol to the oil depot. Our next attraction was Ateshgah Zoroastrian Fire Temple. Now, as a Indians, we know about Parsi culture, we know about fire temples, but we were never allowed to enter a fire temple. This is the only Parsi or a Zoroastrian temple which you can enter and see. And this is the eternal fire which is burning in the center temple. Everybody comes and worships here. Parsis across the world come here to worship, and Nowroz is celebrated in a big way in Baku. After so much of sightseeing, बहुत भूख लगी थी, and we came to this posh neighborhood to Spice Master restaurant to have our lunch. The food was decent, and we could also sample the Kherdalan local Azerbaijani beer, which was very refreshing, and we were ready for the next event of the day. As we made our way to the Baku shooting center, I was really excited. After a long time, I was going to do the rifle shooting, and this facility is one of the best in the world for indoor and outdoor shooting, trap shooting. So we started the shooting practice with the air rifles hitting small targets. Then we graduated to the actual 12-bore shotgun hitting straight line target so that we could aim our vision. Best experience was hitting the flying targets with a shotgun in trap shooting and clicking some pictures with those guns. It was time to explore the Baku old city, the medieval original city where all the ancient palaces and the monument structures are.
Okay, it's a unique architecture.
So this was award-winning miniature book museum. Small replicas of all international books are being kept here, and it was unique. You can't read such a small books, but it was a unique attraction. The medieval architecture, the bylanes of the old city transport you back to 400-500 years back when this was habited by the large population. Still some families live here and they ensure they maintain this part of the city really well. Well, these bylanes take you to the Multani Caravanserai or a old hotel which has been renovated now as a posh eating place, and further you can see the Maiden Tower. This was an observatory tower which was there since 15th century. As you appreciate the beauty of this Maiden Tower and walk further, you have the remains of the bathhouse, and that shows how bustling this part of the city was in olden times. After exploring that beautiful old city, it was time now to experience the modern Baku, and these are the alfresco European style restaurants you have all along in this area. This area is very close to Nizami Street, so you will find all the tourists enjoying restaurant, brand shopping around here. Well, on day 3 we started our drive along the Caspian Sea. The view was amazingly beautiful, and we are now going to the Gobustan mud volcanoes. On the way we took a little pit stop in a local village. A supermarket gives good window into local culture, and this was far away from being modern. This was a very modest local town where the ladies were preparing fresh donuts, there were sausages and knickknacks to sell everywhere. What fascinated me was the amount of vodkas they had on sale, and all of them were of Russian origin. As we reached Gobustan Circle, these drivers were waiting in this 20-year-old Russian Lida 4x4 cars, and the adventure begins. So we are going to visit the mud volcanoes in style in this 4x4 cars. और ये ड्राइव का जो मजा है, it feels like you are in the middle of the car video game and people are trying to race you on this dirt track. And all these drivers were also trying to race each other, but that gave a solid adrenaline and super fun. And then we climbed the small hill towards the mud volcano. As you go closer to the mud volcanoes, the landscape just changes. It feels like you are on another planet, and there was this beautiful Caspian Sea at the distance, and all these Russian cars which were dotted all along the area. ये मड वॉल्केनोज पेट्रोलियम रिच रीजन्स में पाए जाते हैं, जिसमें मड का स्लरी ग्राउंड से ऊपर आता है वॉल्केनो की तरह. बट दिस स्लरी इज नॉट हॉट, इट्स रादर कोल्ड इन नेचर, and this mud is very good for cosmetics and your skin. So all my friends fill their bottles for taking it home as a souvenir. Looking at the blue Caspian Sea, we also wanted to jump into it, and luckily our lunch was planned at the Iceberg Beach Resort. With this stunning background and atmosphere, it was time to grab the drink, have some nice lunch laid out for us, and party. A short drive and we reached the Baku waterfront promenade. These are one of the best manicured gardens in the city, where locals come out in the evening to take a stroll, walk their dogs, or just sit and enjoy the sunset. So there are small cafes all along the promenade. We came to this crazy mosquito cafe to experience some traditional Azerbaijani tea. This is the Azerbaijani black tea, very similar to how they do in Turkey and Middle East. However, this does not have any sugar, it's just water and tea leaves. So these are the other condiments you get along with the tea. This is a sweet peanut with sesame coating. Then there are some cookies, and then there is dried cherries and dried peach. Some lemon also, if you want to add to your tea, you can always add that. Sweet. So to get a sweet flavor, they have this cherry jam, and we got some assorted dry fruits. So what you do is you take some of this sweet cherry jam. While the sweet is rolling in your mouth, take a sip of tea. Very different from Indian tea. Since it was our last night in Baku, everybody went to Nizami Street for buying some souvenirs, baklavas and Turkish delights. As this was our last day in Baku, we went to Hyder Aliyev Cultural Center to see their unique car museum. my opinion was this museum had a fabulous collections of American, Europeans, Russian cars which were iconic in their era. So there were some really unique three-seater cars as well. This was the one which was used in Fast and Furious. It was amazing fun for a car enthusiast to see all of these well-preserved models. Seeing my dream car made me really happy. This is Bugatti, one of the iconic cars. Very few people in the world has it. Legendary painter M.F. Hussain had one. This is the fastest car on the earth. So I was really happy to see this. It was time to say goodbye to amazing Baku, Azerbaijan. We really enjoyed our time here and going back with a bag full of memories. But if you like this video, make sure you press that thumb icon, share it with your family and friends. Do subscribe to Spice Dhamal for amazing travel videos.